When we think about money, markets, and investments, a lot of people feel excluded from the conversation even before it begins. This might be because they might feel like it's quite technical or otherwise reserved for other people. But today's guest is here to demystify all of this and break it down for us. Grace Soko is a business development manager at the Lusaka Securities Exchange, where she works to strengthen Lusaka's capital markets and also open up opportunities, particularly for women, young people, and everyday investors. Grace works at the intersection of opportunity, access, and confidence, helping individuals and institutions see that financial markets are not just about numbers, they're also about the 3 Ps: people, possibility, and progress. In today's conversation, we explore what it means to really claim economic space, what it means to lead with integrity. Of course, we explore Grace's journey herself, but most importantly, what it means to create financial markets that best serve society. This is Unshaken Feathers, and I am your host, Mundia Stumbeko. Welcome, Grace.
Hi, Mundia.
Welcome. We're really excited to have you on the podcast today. Thank you for making time for us. I know that it's a busy period for you. It's been a busy week.
Oh, it's always busy.
It's always busy.
It's always busy.
When do you breathe?
Saturday and Sunday.
Monday, Friday, no breathing.
Nothing. We're just in autopilot mode. And then Friday night, crack a bottle of wine and you're ready to go.
I love that. You need to tell me what wine you like. So Grace, today we're here you heard the intro. Mm-hmm. You know, when people think about finance, they think about financial market, capital markets, you know, these buzzwords.
Yeah.
They might feel like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
You know? So for someone who's very new to this, and I know you've been in the finance space for a really long time, you in banking, right?
I did start in banking.
You started in banking.
Yeah.
Maybe we start with your journey, actually. Mm-hmm. Tell us why banking and then why now transition to where you are now?
I would like to say that I had a plan thought out in school, but no. I actually did study economics and law. Okay. So my dream job was actually to work in the UN.
Oh,
that
really?
was literally what I wanted.
That's a massive diversion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the whole thing about how you make plans and then God laughs at them kind of situation. So I finished school and obviously banking kind of came upon me. I sent out a few applications and the bank is the one that got back to me and I was like, okay, let's do this. And I just happened to be good at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily that, this is my dream, this is where I want to be. It was, you kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dreams kind of shifted over the years because at some point I wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think you might have needed to study medicine, maybe?
No.
Yeah? No. Neurosurgeon with law and economics. I love that. You would have been the first.
Yeah. Maybe there's still time to do that.
Maybe. Okay, great. And how was your time during your experience in the banking sector? Mm-hmm. What did you learn from it that you're using now? And I think most importantly, like the pivot, how did that happen?
So I guess one of the biggest lessons, particularly with the bank that I worked with, there was a lot of emphasis on owner management culture. Mm-hmm. So you own the space that you work in. You own the piece of work that's assigned to you right up until the end. And I think that's what has really carried forward in my career. In everything that I do, I always say, let me own the space that I'm in.
Okay.
How do I leave my mark? If I'm assigned a task, how do I make it my own? How do I my current boss likes to say, bring your flair.
Okay, bring your flair.
How do you bring your own flair to what's going on? And I think that's just carried through in my career. As far as the transition, I think it was a very natural one. Okay. I worked my way up from working in a branch, opening accounts, that person, working my way up to service specialist, and that was in corporate investment banking. So that's where the investment interest kind of came in. And then as opportunities came up, I found myself moving into wealth management. And again, where I am now is a natural progression because you're kind of following the flow of money. So banking is kind of like the source. So people work, put it in a bank account, wealth management is like, now that you've made this money, how do you actually make it grow
What do you
for
do with
you?
it? Yeah.
And then where I am right now is actually framing policy for investments in capital markets and how do we make it more relatable to everybody.
Okay.
So it's really a natural
progression. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. But did you ever see yourself where you are now while you were in banking?
No.
No, okay.
No.
But it's a good transition. It makes
It's
sense.
a very nice one. I think I
Yes.
landed nicely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good for you. I would like to ask you just a few things. Obviously, I think the world has changed, even, and it keeps changing so
does.
rapidly.
Yeah.
In the last decade, we've seen lots of opportunities that have come up for women. More doors are opening. There are less restrictions.
True.
But still, there's still a challenge.
Yeah.
But it's important to really appreciate the milestones that we've made. For you in the banking sector, I can't say that it's male dominated now.
No.
It's not.
It's very much
It used
shifted.
to be. It's shifted so much. That is
Yeah.
true. But from your own personal experience, did you see any of those transitions, particularly related to your own personal experience, or did you think it was the opportunities was quite equal?
I think I was I wouldn't say privileged to be close enough to a lot of the transitions that were going on at the bank that I was with. It was very open in terms of opportunities. I think it was one of the banks that had quite a lot of women in executive, the EXCO, which is executive committee. So there was that kind of shift where you could see that, okay, women are now getting into executive committees. And then by the time we had, I think we're on 4 women CEOs now in the banking sector.
Yes.
Which is quite impressive. And
is
these are
so
big banks.
impressive. Yes.
Big banks.
Yes.
Like they're leading the profit after tax rankings. And I think it's been a natural progression. And I think banking has really become one of those very fluid industries, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of room for, I would say, expressing yourself and figuring out where exactly you fit in. I think the culture in banking has shifted a bit. I think even regionally, we're seeing quite a lot of women taking up these leadership positions, even on the continent. I think I just recently saw something about a lady in Nigeria taking over at Access.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, we're slowly, I'm not saying we're there yet.
But we're getting
We're
there,
getting there.
which is
We're getting
great.
there. Yeah.
It's good for girls, young women who are also trying to enter that sector.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it's important to be able to see what you could be you.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Seeing is believing.
Exactly.
And you have to definitely see that, especially as a young woman.
Yeah.
Young girl.
Yeah.
As well. Okay, that's really interesting. Maybe just to tap into a little bit of what has shaped you today. Who do you think has been like quite influential in allowing you to be confident, because you ooze confidence, by the way? That quiet confidence.
Oh, good. My mom will be happy to hear that.
Because she thinks you're loud.
Really? She's always just like, no, don't embarrass me.
No, don't embarrass me.
Don't embarrass me.
Oh,
Okay.
no. You're doing brilliantly.
Thank you.
I hope mommy's watching.
No, I'm sure she will.
So yeah, what shaped who you are today, to be able to really just be that go-getter? I'm going to pursue this. I know you fell into banking, but to a certain degree, you didn't fall into where you are now.
Exactly.
Yes. So you had to make very intentional decisions.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to know, like, who or what shaped who you are today.
I would say my parents, my mom particularly, I literally call her a force of nature. She knows, so I can put it on record. I literally call her Hurricane Irene.
No.
My mom's name is Irene.
She's a hurricane. No, don't start naming your mom too.
No, in a very good way.
Okay,
in a very good way.
Okay.
In a good way. She literally is one of those people who, when she sets out to do something, she will literally say, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will get it done. And it's that whole thing of, I make things happen for myself. And I've seen her do that. I think growing up, I was literally like, listen, if I have half this woman's strength and determination, I'll be good.
I've made it.
I'll be good.
I've made it in life. Okay.
And I think my dad as well, when you said quiet confidence, I thought to myself, that sounds like my dad. Because my dad is very centered. He's not very loud. He just brings this quiet strength and just quiet, I'd say, calm energy, but very much in control. And I think I got the best of both worlds.
Amazing.
A very calm hurricane.
I'm not sure you can describe a hurricane as calm. Maybe the beginnings of it.
Maybe.
Okay, amazing. That's really good to know. I know that you also have a quite close-knit friendship group. We'll get to that, obviously, when we talk about how you cope.
My tribe of sisters.
Exactly. Grace, I want to ask you about LuSE.
Yeah.
Lusaka Securities Exchange. I've struggled with that.
Made it.
Lusaka Stock Exchange. First of all, can you tell me what the difference is by calling it Stock Exchange and Securities Exchange?
So the stock exchange relates particularly to the sale of shares, right?
Okay.
But when you talk about securities exchange, you're now talking about other types of commodities that you can trade.
Right.
So we do have the policies in place. We're going to be rolling it out soon. But you will be able to trade shares, bonds. You'll also be able to trade in EFTs that are linked to...
Please, EFTs. What are EFTs? I'm just saying, not everyone listening is going to know.
That is true. That is true. But that is an investment vehicle that is basically linked to a metal. So what's very popular right now is a gold-linked EFT.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to go into too much of detail about that, but basically when we say securities exchange, it means you're trading in not just shares. So there's shares, there's bonds, there's commodities, and a few other exciting things we're working on.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Tell us a little bit more. I mean, in the intro, I was talking about how when you talk about capital markets, they're not even big words, but people be like, oh my God, big words.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? And they immediately shy away. But actually, capital markets affect all of us.
That's true.
Right?
That's very true.
And we could influence that as well.
Yeah.
It's not just institutions, even individuals.
Exactly.
So could you, in layman's terms, just explain how, if someone was interested in investing in whether it's stocks or shares or commodities, like what would they, the basics, the very basics?
Okay. So the main reason we call it a capital market is because it's basically an investment which has a main purpose of raising capital for the person that comes to the market. So when you talk about shares, the main reason why people list their companies to say, okay, we're now publicly listed or, do an IPO, which is an initial public offering.
Thank you.
It's a way for a company to raise, I'd say, cheaper money for themselves. I think we're all aware of the fact that debt is expensive and it's not always the most prudent way for you to build your business. So when we say capital, it's because you are raising money for you to do something. Even when we talk about a bond, whether it's the government, whether it's a corporate, a bond is basically you lending money to somebody. Again, that's a way of raising capital so that you can do something else, right? So capital markets is, I would say, a twofold issue. On the one hand, as a business, if you're looking at how you can come up with money so that you can expand, so that you can grow your business, the capital markets is a good avenue. As an individual, if you were thinking to yourself, okay, I want to invest my money, and there's actually a very big difference between saving and investing, actually.
Absolutely.
So saving is literally, I have this money, I've put it in a pot.
Yes.
It's not growing. When I need it, it's there. Investing is where you're saying, okay, I want to add a little bit more value to this. I want it to grow.
Yeah.
So when you talk about investments, you now need to start looking at things like interest rates. So if your money, and I'm getting a little technical, but...
No, please go ahead. We need this lesson. Yes.
If your money is attracting interest or growing at a rate that's faster than inflation is the buzzword right now. So inflation is basically the rate at which your prices increase, right? So if your interest rate is higher than inflation, it means you're actually preserving the value of your money. Because what usually happens is you put your money in, let's say, a fixed account. Your interest is lower than inflation. By the time the money matures, what you want to buy has probably gone up in price, right? Classic example is you want to buy a piece of land, right? And you tell yourself, I've got this 100,000, let me stash it away. By the time you want to come back to it at the end of the
Land
year,
has gone up.
the land is not 100,000 anymore. Maybe it's 180. Although the Lusaka prices are crazy, so it'll probably be 200.
Exactly, I was going to say 1 million.
That too. So, you know, the whole point of investing is so that you can find something that's going to increase your money at a rate faster than inflation. And that's where the capital markets are becoming a lot more attractive, because I would say in the last maybe 5 to 10 years or so, we've really seen a big turnaround where lots of individual investors, not just institutional ones, but actual individuals are coming through and they're saying, okay, you know what, let me try buying a bond. Or you know what, let me buy shares. And we've actually got unit trusts that are coming up. I know in the West it's very popular. We call it mutual funds. And that's like a collective investment scheme managed by a fund manager. They do everything for you. You're just remitting monthly. And those are actually coming up as well in popularity. So the capital markets are quite an exciting space.
Yeah, they're really exciting for Zambia.
Yeah.
Especially with the economy, how it's performing at the moment.
Exactly.
I mean, people have mixed reviews, ideas about, but I mean, generally speaking, it's performing better than it has been. We're on the right track. Yes, we're on the right track.
Yeah.
But given what you've said to me in terms of access, and of course, this platform is all about empowering women.
Right.
So in terms of access for women, do you think that it's easily accessible? What are the obstacles and what could be done to ensure that this access is made accessible? Can you even say that? No.
Well, you can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even when you look at the data that's coming out from financial studies, what you'll find is it's actually women that are in the forefront of developing a savings culture. And it's very interesting to see if you look at village banking.
I was about to say village banking is literally the classic example.
And you'll find the majority of these people in village banking groups are women. And they're doing incredible things with that money. And I think that just speaks to the fact that women are interested in this. We're not going to go into a feminist debates about access to work and fair opportunity.
That's fine. It's not that we can revisit. You come back and we can get revisit. Into
that. But as far as access, it is becoming a lot easier. When you look at the capital market space, you can buy a government bond online. You don't have to walk into Bank of Zambia. You don't have to walk into a bank. Literally on your phone, although I do believe serious transactions need to be done on a computer. I'm not yet at that point. I feel like if I'm buying a ticket... I thought
you were advanced, Grace.
No. If I'm buying a plane ticket, if I'm booking accommodation, I need to get on my laptop.
Do you feel that it's because... I'm laughing because I feel exactly... When I'm buying a plane ticket, especially, I'm like, no, I need to sit down.
Yes.
Yeah, properly on a desk.
Yes. With good lighting.
With good lighting, so you can see what you're doing.
Exactly. I know what I'm clicking. So your government bond, you can do it online. Even investing in shares. I mean, we now have an app. So the LuSE has made it easier than ever.
Oh, well done.
It's not a perfect app. And we'll put that disclaimer out there. Few kinks, but we're getting around it.
Okay, great.
But you can actually do it on your phone.
Okay.
Even with the unit trust that I was talking about, collective investment schemes, you can literally log in. Certain fund managers have a proper portal where you can log in, see how your balance is doing, do a bank transfer. You don't even have to walk into a brick and mortar building. So it is becoming a lot more accessible. And of course, you've got, mobile money operators that are coming through with their savings products.
Okay.
It's an exciting time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so exciting. I think after this, I need to start thinking about investing in bonds. I'll be coming to you.
Please do. Please do.
Okay, that's really... I hope it's helpful for those that are listening. Grace is your go-to person. So please go to Grace. I'm sure she can help you in terms of investments. But it's a very fast-paced market, right?
It is.
And you're talking about, more people are feeling a bit more confident.
Yeah.
But with confidence comes, you have to have some kind of level of risk. You have to be risk averse.
Exactly.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, we've all been watching how the world has been moving for the last few years. Yeah. Every day you wake up and you're like, okay, what's going on now? While I was sleeping for 6-7 hours. So you have to be risk averse. How do you be risk averse enough without, and trying to like basically make some money. Like, how do you invest without being too risk averse? Being a bit cautious as you move.
Yeah.
Bit of risk, a bit of caution.
So what I always advise people to do, and this is something that the West has really got right, that I think in Africa we now need to work on as well, the idea of a licensed financial advisor or a licensed investment advisor. Somebody who's going to take away the emotions, because a lot of what we perceive as risk is actually just fear. And
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, could you
so
break that down?
Sometimes when it comes to money, money is a very emotional topic, right?
That's true.
You've worked hard for your money. You don't want to squander it, right? You don't want anything that's going to jeopardize the wealth that you've built. Money is attached to security as well. The more money I have, the more secure I feel. My kids are secure. Everybody's fine. So when you bring in an investment advisor, they come in and they take away the emotive aspect of your money decisions, and they say, look, these are the numbers. Let's do this. I'm going to guide you through it. Because even when you look at something like stock investments, some people kind of, make it similar to betting. It's kind of just like, okay, I kind of like this stock. Let me try. And then you see the price going down and your emotions make you panic, and then you sell off and then it goes up again. So that's the whole idea of having an investment advisor who's literally going to say that, look, it's not about emotions for me. It's the numbers. I have the experience. I have the knowledge. Let me walk you through this. Just close your eyes.
What can I say though? Even, I mean, yes, I'm not trying to disprove what you're saying, but even someone who has all the knowledge in the world and all the experience, you actually can't predict markets.
That's very true. That's
like
very
anything
true.
can happen.
That's very true.
But anyway, this is where the risk, I mean, you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the thing about investments. And this is something I always make very clear. There's nothing that's risk-free when it comes to investments. And that's actually one of the major red flags for investment scams. The moment somebody comes to you and says, this is 100% guaranteed.
It's not true.
It's
Run.
not true. And you need to ask yourself, why are you 100% sure? What are you doing? So with every investment that you do, there is some level of risk attached to it. And your own individual risk appetite is what is going to determine what you will invest in. If you're risk averse, right? Like I am risk averse. If I could keep my money in a mattress, I would.
No, in the mattress.
I mean,
the
if there's a way to
mattress can like
multiply.
catch fire or
You see,
something.
yeah, but that's within my control.
Is it?
Kinda.
Kind of, to a certain extent.
Like, it's one of those things where when you're risk averse, you need to look at very low risk investments. Problem with low risk investments, the returns are not always as high.
Yeah, they're not very high.
They're not always as high. If you know that you are, a go big or go home, then, go out, find something that you want to do. I always say Bitcoin.
Oh, you're a Bitcoin.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Oh, wait, what do you mean? You mean you are for Bitcoin or you're not?
I'm a little bit on the fence.
Okay.
Because I'm still trying to understand.
Okay.
Exactly.
Please let us know when you have.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's also, anyway, that goes with your risk appetite, yeah? When you look at something like Bitcoin, it's not attached to a specific commodity. It's not attached to gold. It's not attached to a currency.
Which is what makes it a bit...
It's basically market sentiment, right? So you're basically playing the market and hoping it, stays up while it's still up. And then you make your money and then you cash out as soon as you see it going down. So that comes down to your risk appetite, yeah? So I wouldn't say put all your trust 100% in an investment advisor, but your chances of, I'd say, achieving long-term success, I would say are substantially higher when you have an impartial person sitting there and saying, okay, look, here are your options based on your risk appetite, because remember, an investment advisor tailors it to you.
Okay.
They get to know you personally.
So they'll gauge as well.
And they'll literally say, okay, this one, this is a money in a mattress girl. I'm not taking her to Bitcoin. Or, this one is go big, go home. I'm not going to take her to bonds because she's going to get frustrated with the slow growth.
Yeah, bonds. I know some people who, it's like for years.
It's a long-term thing.
It's a long game.
It's a marriage.
So it's a marriage. And then at the end,
we part peacefully.
Fair enough. Okay, great. Grace, I would like us to just back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And talk about your time in Zambia. I know that you grew up for the most part of your life away from Zambia.
Yeah.
And I would like to just hear what called you home. Did you hear a song that was singing Grace?
I'd love to say I did, but I did not.
No, you didn't. So please tell us a little bit about that. I think it's so wonderful that so many people are feeling that urge to come back home, which is very important. I mean, no, whoever decides not to, that's fine. Not criticizing them at all, but it's really amazing for people to come back with whatever they have learned, because I think we can all learn something from each other.
Yeah.
And then now here you are, 10 years now that you've been back.
Wow, it has been 10 years.
10 years that you've been back. Oh, wow. So yeah, tell us a bit about what you learned from outside of Zambia and what called you back home, and how you're feeling about being back home 10 years later. Did you make the right decision?
I'll start off by saying yes, I did.
Yes, fantastic. That is what we love to hear.
Yes, I did. I think for me, and I'd say I'm not alone in this group, we call ourselves third culture kids. So the reason we say third culture kids is because I'm a Zambian. I grew up in Botswana, and then I did my tertiary in South Africa. So there are literally 3 cultures that have influenced my life. And I think that's a very common story, where you'll find that someone is, Zambian, born here, they went out, and then they go and do tertiary somewhere else. And then you have to come back home and just amalgamate everything and say, okay, how am I going to navigate the Zambian scene as well? As far as why I came home, I'd say it's 2 major things. Number 1, obviously, immigration. Which is the major one. I think you just get to a point where you say, do I really want to keep applying for study permits and work permits? Is this really what I want? Depending on the field of study that you go into, sometimes it is tricky for you to actually find work in another country, because they have this citizen first issue, which we're not going to go into. But immigration, obviously. And then home is where the heart is, to be fair. Like, your family is here, your support system is here. You don't really feel like you're coming to a new place. And I really need to commend my parents, because they made sure that I kept my roots here. As much as I grew up in Botswana, did university in South Africa, every holiday, like clockwork, I knew
you were coming.
We are coming home. And home, not Lusaka, home, Choma.
Oh, okay.
Choma in Southern Province.
Okay.
So it's my hometown.
Woo woo.
But yeah, I really felt like, you know what, I actually have a home. And I always knew when I'm out there, as much as, yes, it's shaped me, it's where I'm getting my education from, it's not really home. Home is, across the Victoria Falls, this side. Yeah? So I think my parents also instilled that into me, to say, you are Zambian. No matter where you are Zambian. My dad likes to make this, I'd say hilarious, but it's a little bit on the dark humor side, where he will say, I will be buried in Zambia. I even know which tree I'm going to be buried
at.
Wherever I go.
He knows where he wants to.
And the whole thing of my umbilical cord is buried there. So it was a whole thing of, it tethers you home. So I think growing up, that just was constantly emphasized.
Amazing. So it was a song, kind of, that pulled you back.
Yeah, a little bit of a heart song.
A heart song. Oh, that's nice. That's really good. And do you feel like your, I'm going to try and use the right word, your reintegration, integration or reintegration? Because you left when you, right. And how has that been for you, even not just as someone that's gone abroad and come back, but also even as a woman?
Yeah.
Like, how have you navigated that through your career, through your personal life?
So I will say, and this may be a little bit controversial, dating in Zambia is hard.
Is it?
Especially if you didn't grow up here. It's hard.
What's the hard part?
I think there's this expectation that a woman must be quiet and humble and submissive, and I had to learn how to tie a chitenge, and I'm just like,
They didn't teach you that in Botswana?
Where do you see women in Botswana with wraps?
I know, it's like so different. So different.
But
that is true.
It's little things like that, and just the cultural expectations of how women should behave. Even at the office, how a woman should carry herself. The whole speak not spoken to. And I think obviously as time has gone on And like you mentioned, more people are coming back in from outside to say, hey guys, we don't actually need to kunkura at the office, you know? And it's little things like that when I got back where I had to battle and find my own identity without sticking out like a sore thumb.
I hear you.
You know? So it was a little bit, eventually I think I got it. I think I got it now. I've got the balance. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think that's changing, though.
It is.
That is completely changing.
It is.
And I think it's up to us to really define,
Yeah.
like, what the Zambian woman is, the modern
Exactly.
Zambian woman is. It doesn't have to be based on stereotypes. We're the ones that shape,
Exactly.
you know, who we are.
Yeah.
So I think I know it's hard to kind of, you want to fit in, but you don't want to be that person that everyone looks at and be like, okay, she's weird.
Yeah.
But it's important to remain true to yourself.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very
so
true.
as long as you know who you are and you don't shy away from that, it doesn't really matter what other people
True.
say. But anyway, I'm sure Zambia is happy to have you back. Just going back to, you know, the financial sector being such a fast-paced, very unpredictable sometimes. And when you came in, when we started the conversation, you said you didn't breathe from Monday to Friday. You don't breathe.
Yeah.
You breathe on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I think what's really important is that balance that you have to
Exactly.
have, the work-life balance.
Yeah.
I know it's such a buzzword, a buzz phrase, but it's important.
Yeah, it is.
because you have to be able to keep going.
Yeah.
So even as that, like, how do you manage to just maintain that balance? How do you manage to just regroup on this weekend when you talk about getting a bottle of wine or whatever else you do over the weekend? Like, how do you do that? How do you keep sane?
So I'm very much a homebody.
Okay.
I'm one of those people who, when I drive in after work on a Friday, you will not see me come out until Sunday morning going to church. And then when I get back from church, I'm in until Monday when you see me driving out for work. Of course, I've got a few friends who will call me up and say, hey, you're going into hermit mode. Can we have a girls' lunch or something? But I think it's very important to have something that kind of helps you log out mentally.
Yeah.
You don't always need to be plugged in,
Yes.
you know? So Netflix, that is my guilty pleasure. I'm a true crime girly.
You know what they say about women who watch crime shows, right?
We're not going to go down that road.
I don't even know where they got that statistic.
I don't even know either.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're amazing. We can process information.
What is it? Apparently, if you watch crime shows alone, even during the day, it means that you have like some kind of fundamental psychological issue.
We're sociopaths.
Yeah, a sociopath. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, no, because I'm one of those and I don't believe. Well, anyway, a sociopath will tell you that then. Okay, wait, the conversation is going left. Let's bring it back. Yes, Netflix is great, but like even at work, you know that balance that you need to have even when you're at work.
Yeah.
Even during the week, you know, Monday to Friday can be long.
It can.
Sometimes you need that midweek, like, what do you do? Like, how do you maintain that?
I think what's really helped me also is having a very supportive partner. My partner, he's not always in the country, but he is there. Like, we text throughout the day. Of course, he's also busy. But, you know, little check-ins, like, are you okay? No headache. No migraine? Have you eaten? Little things like that. You know, and then you get home and you debrief and, you know, you watch your shows together. And it's a lovely thing to have somebody that you know I can support. He can support me. And it's good to have that as well with family. I think with my parents, they also keep me grounded a little bit. Like my mom will call me up with some random story about something that has happened, and that kind of helps me
that's
just
nice.
detach. So it's very important, even in your friendship groups. And I always reiterate this, that you need to know which friends you can go to for what. I know that if I want to have a very stimulating conversation, I know which friend to go through. You know, if I want to just have crazy fun, I know who to call. And if I just need a deep, grounding conversation, like, I don't know what's going on, I need you to help me figure this out, I know who to call as well. So it's very important as you're doing your work-life balance, you also need to have a friend balance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And do you feel like this friend group is what has kept you quite balanced? Because you're an only child, right?
Yes, I am.
You don't even give only child vibes, by the way.
Thank you. Again, my mother will be proud.
Do you think that's what has really kept you grounded in, even when, for example, you're talking about your career, like the way you've progressed, because you check in with your friends as well, like, oh, do you know what, I'm feeling like this.
Yeah.
But sometimes you question yourself, don't you? Especially as women. I think women really question themselves a lot.
There's a lot that goes on in here.
Right. So having that group, you say, is what has really helped you, kept you grounded.
Yeah, and I've been privileged, and I think I consider it a privilege and a blessing, really, to have friends that I've carried throughout my life. And we've seen each other grow up from primary school through to high school, through to university, through to working life now. And it's really a blessing to have somebody that you can literally grow up with. And whenever you feel like I'm not doing enough, they will remind you that, hey, 10 years ago, this is where you were. Look at where you are now.
You really need those people, don't you?
Exactly.
Because I think we put so much pressure on ourselves.
We
and
do.
I don't even know what we're racing against, to be honest.
Time.
Because time, but I mean, you don't even know if you're going to be here tomorrow.
That's true.
So it's better to just do the best that you can in the moment.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we'll see what happens. Plan for tomorrow. Then when you wake up, then you execute the plan. Because there's no point in you trying to stress yourself out all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. I need to do this. That's great. Grace, I want to talk to you a little bit about Zambia's capital market. Yeah, I know that we've spoken, and I know we keep going back and forth. My brain can do
My
this.
brain is like that too.
Okay, good. So you're fine. You're fine with this.
Zero judgment.
With this flow. Okay,
we're
excellent. Together. Good. I want to ask you. So, what do you see for the future in Zambia in terms of capital markets? I mean, we talk about the economy doing quite well. More people are investing more, and I think more companies are even coming up.
They are.
Like loads of them.
Yeah.
Like when I was exploring like what would be good to invest in, I am so confused because there's just
there's a lot of options.
So many options. So I do have to come to you. But what do you think? What do you predict in terms of the markets? Where's best to invest, for example? I know the mining sector is doing very well as well. So what would you say about that? Please enlighten us.
I would say we have an optimistic outlook. I think we're finally, like I said, on the right track. The fundamentals are there. We've got the right policies. Fingers crossed, the right people to continue leading us in the right direction. I do see a lot more retail participation, retail being individual investors. There's that shift that's already happening. I do see a lot more young people coming in. We do have a rather young population.
We do.
A lot of them are now coming up with industrious ideas on how to start making money even from university. So, you've got influencing is now a job.
It's a job. It's a thing.
It's a job. It's a good paying job.
It's a good. Listen, I want to be an influencer.
I know, right? So you have all these different avenues where people are now learning how to make money. I think as a country, we moved from the historical view of I go to university, I become a doctor, an accountant, or a lawyer, and then I start working. And we all wanted to work for the government, and then along the way, it shifted, and we said, you know what, I can actually do other businesses. I can do this. I can start braiding hair. I can start selling clothes. We've got a lot of online boutiques. There's a lot that's going on. So there is a little bit, I would say, more money and more industrious ways of making money. So I do see a growing SME sector. I do see a lot more activity amongst the youth, not just in investments, but in actually bringing forth ideas. We talked about people from out coming back in. All these people that are going out to study, a lot of them are saying, when I go back home, I want to try this. It's no longer, let me go and let me get a green card and let me stay there. It's now, what I've learned, let me take it back home. And I think we are going to see a little bit of a shift, even in terms of the policies, because we're now going to have these young people coming in with ideas influencing the ideas, influencing the policies, and we're going to see a very nice shift. As far as what you can invest in, I would say always bear in mind that your risk appetite is what will influence what you can invest in. Because only invest if you're willing to stomach the risk. Yeah. I always tell people, if you're going to invest in stocks, right, you need to have the stomach for it. Because you're going to see the numbers go up, you're going to see them go down.
That's like
you cannot have a sleepless night.
I'm telling you.
You can't have a sleepless night because for 1 week the prices were going down.
Yeah.
You need to stomach it. Yeah. If you're going to go into government bonds, do you have the patience? Because it's a long-term thing. You've got a bond that goes as long as 15 years. Do you have the patience? Are you willing to sit through it? If you go the route of a business, because that's also a very good investment. If you've done your research, you know that there's a need for it, and this is a niche service that I want to, roll out. Do you have the tenacity? Because remember, businesses, they thrive on tenacity as well. You really need to have that self-belief to say, it's not always going to be good, but even on the bad days, I know what I'm working towards.
Show up.
So I think there's a lot. This country has so much potential.
It has so much potential. And talking about the country, yes, but even the continent.
Exactly.
The population is young and thriving, and there's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
So what do you think in Zambia? What does the leadership, current, future, need to be able to bear in mind to encourage young people to make these investments? And even some young people might not have the capital necessarily to start up the business ideas that they have. So I know that there are some funds that are dedicated to young people who might not necessarily have the capital, access to capital. So that's great, but I think we need to do more, don't we?
We do. I think we do need to work on some of the policies that are limiting for business.
That's right.
We know that it's annoying. It's frustrating when you have to go through an application process, bring this form, bring this. No, until this is stamped by this, you can't go through with this. So we need to make it a very enabling environment for business.
Right.
We need to understand that not all businesses are the same. We need to have policymakers that understand just how dynamic our economy is. And we need young people to, take up the mantle. It's not so much about someone else will figure it out. It's like, I'm here.
I can
right
do
now.
it. Yes.
Let me see what I can do.
Okay.
So it is a little bit of an individual work that needs to happen, but also the policy needs to be a lot easier from a leadership perspective. Continentally, I think we've started interacting with each other a lot more.
I know. Just recently with the president of Ghana,
right,
opening up all the opportunities.
Right.
That was really great to see.
Yeah.
As soon as they said visa free, I was like, I'm there.
Gold Coast, here we go.
Gold Coast. Yeah, no, that's great. And I want to just touch on the mining sector a little bit. Where do we start? It's our pride and joy.
It is.
Yeah, in Zambia. How can more people be involved? Because again, it seems, for me anyway, let me speak for myself, and I'm sure for many people who are listening, the mining sector is like so far away.
It is.
But actually, it's within reach.
It's like this abstract idea.
It's this abstract, I mean, we're so rich in minerals, and it's thriving. I know that there has been some conversations about ownership, which is very important. Yeah. And I think this is the ongoing work that the current government is trying to work on. But what would you say is a way that an individual, just like myself, can get involved in even investing in the mining, the energy, even the energy sector?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity in those two that you've set out. I think you can see even from the events that are happening regionally. We've got the mining Indaba that's going on in Cape Town right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Which shows you just how important it is. Our president literally went to give the keynote address over there.
Absolutely.
And I think
it's been growing.
It has.
Over the years.
It has.
Every single year the
it
numbers.
Gets bigger and better.
Yes, yeah.
And more banks are going as well, which is great. And banks follow the money. So that's a good cue. I think for me, the important thing is do things right. I think we've seen a lot of stories about illegal miners, people move in and shunt you out, and then now there's all this uproar about it. But do things the right way. It may take a little bit longer, but at least you know that once you have your mining license, once you have your mineral rights license or whatever the case may be, it's very difficult for somebody to say, stop what you're doing, because you actually have all your paperwork in order. So make sure that you actually do things the right way. I do know our ministries have an open door policy. How open the door is under consideration, but you can actually do your research, find out. I think in Zambia, we tend to have this attitude of, he said it can't work, so it's
not going to work.
Yeah,
but you have to try it.
But sometimes you just need to do your own research.
Absolutely.
And figure it out, to say, okay, look, if they say I need to do it this way, let me see how I can actually do it that way. No shortcuts. There's no shortcuts in life.
There are really no shortcuts.
No
Absolutely
shortcuts
not.
Nothing. And then also, when it comes to the energy sector, because there's so much potential there, right? We've had load shedding, which miraculously disappeared. But we shouldn't get too relaxed.
Absolutely not.
I don't trust it. So, you need to start thinking outside of the box, where you're able to say that, okay, look, we do have an energy crisis. We are heavily reliant on hydro-generated, power. How do we move away from that? Because it's not always going to be raining. We will have a drought. I think we've noticed it moves in 5 to 7 year cycles. So we know it's going to come around again. How do we start problem solving for ourselves? And I do think that that's something that as Africans, we really need to take up, to say, how do we solve our problems ourselves? Because all that we need is within us, literally. Everything that we need is within us. So it's just a matter of, how do we work together? How do we figure out how to solve this together?
Yes, because it's everyone's responsibility.
It is.
Because I think we are very quick to throw it on the government. I mean, yes, they are, like, let's say, the leading body that will make the final decisions. But our voices can be heard. Absolutely. Do you have shares in any? No. Okay. I'm not trying to make you say what you have shared, but like, are you a big investor yourself?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Okay. This is great. So people can come to you.
Yep.
And again, this platform is really to empower women and encourage girls, young women, to really invest.
Yeah.
So what would you say to this group of people, and how they can empower themselves by thinking for themselves, just like you've said, and really focus on, like, is this going to work for me? If they are in a position to. If they're not in a position to, how can they make sure that they get to be in that position? So I've asked you two things.
Yeah.
So you can start with, if they're not in that position, how do they get to the position first?
So that's actually a very common question, because, people will say, I want to invest in a government bond, but I don't have a lot of money. Or I want to start investing, but I don't have a lot to start with. And I always say, start with what you have. There is always something that you can do. I think financial inclusion is a big thing. Bank of Zambia literally has a whole strategic arm to do with financial inclusion, which almost every player in the financial markets is part of. And this is why you'll find, even with banks, when you look at the app, there's the app for smartphone users, and then there's the USSD, which is your dial string for people who are not on smartphones. So even when you look at investment product rollouts, what you'll find is, without mentioning names, there are quite a few online savings platforms that you can use your USSD dial string. You can do even a 50 kwacha a week. Start small, work your way up. And I think one of the things that really, and this is not just for investing, but it's just life in general, don't run a race that's not yours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we have, that we're dealing with as a human race.
Yeah.
Because we're so tempted to, like, look left, look right. Just focus on your race. In fact, it's not even one race. It's your race.
Yeah.
Don't bother looking, because we're all on different tracks.
Yeah. I mean, even Burna Boy said, let me run my race.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, he said it best. Seriously. And I wish more people would take on that attitude. I know that it's difficult sometimes to feel like, oh, I'm not progressing, but your time is going to come.
Exactly.
Put in the time, put in the work. Now, for those who have the ability to invest right now, how do they do that without what are the top 3 things? Let's put it in the 3 things that they need to consider before going. I know we've spoken about it, but just to narrow it down.
Yeah, I would always
Top 3
say,
things.
number 1, do your research.
Do your research.
That's number 1. You
Yes.
have to do your own research. Don't rely on hearsay. Do your own research. Number 2, set a firm goal for yourself. Sometimes we just say, I want to invest. But what are you investing for? Do you want to grow your net worth? Do you want to set up an education plan for your kids? Be specific as you set your goals, because you're more likely to stick to something when you're specific. If you say, I want to have a net worth of 5 million kwacha in 10 years, that's specific. Everything that you do in the back of your mind, you've got
That's
5
the
million.
target.
Hit it, you know? Before you blow out at Zanzibar and, go wherever, you'll be like, is this working towards 5 million? So that's number 2. Number 3, surround yourself with like-minded people. And this is something that a lot of people tend to take for granted. Get into these investor communities. I've seen quite a lot of WhatsApp groups popping up. They do have seasoned investors in there who've been doing this for a while, who will be able to tell you that, look, I tried this, it didn't work, so try this. Surround yourself with like-minded people, because if you find yourself with a group of people who say, investments don't work, you're going to lose track at some point. So find out, where are these investor groups? How do I join these communities? Consult licensed financial advisors, which kind of ties in with surround yourself with the right people. Be very careful about your sources of information.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are, at the risk of being controversial, there are certain people giving out advice who are not certified to do that. And there's a reason why it's a regulated industry. There are exams you need to pass. For me to sit here, I had to write an exam to say that I'm actually licensed to do this, and there's a reason why, because you're playing with people's money, it's a risky area that you're getting into. So to summarize, top 3, number 1, do your research.
Do your research, set your goal,
Surround
and
yourself
surround
with the right
yourself with
people.
the right people. That's very, very practical advice. And I know that you've been doing this for a while now. And money is everything, really.
It is.
Money
It
talks, money drives, money does everything.
True.
But I think life is a lot more than just money. We would all love the money to do all the lovely things that we would want to do, but money goes beyond just money.
Yeah.
It's about the people, it's about society.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how Zambia is in a really good position, which doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be great and trickle down to the society as a whole.
Yeah.
But we have to be involved. We
Yeah.
have to invest. We have to calculate how the markets are performing so that we can invest individually and also collectively. I love that idea of that collective investment. And I think that kind of shakes off a bit of the risk
It does.
and the fear
It does.
that we have when it comes to the relationship with money. But for you, Grace, what would you say is the impact you want to leave? I mean, you're doing such an amazing job. Your trajectory is just like this, and you are only going up.
Thanks.
And I really look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you're doing. But for you, like, what's your goal? Where does the human part come into it? It's fast paced. It's money. People are talking. It's very.
Yeah.
We talked about how you remain grounded, but where do you want to go?
So for me, I don't even shy away from this anymore. I used to feel shy, but now I don't. I'm all about comfort. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and go to work because I love what I do, not because I have bills to pay, I want to get to a point where even my family, because remember, when you are content as a person, you're more likely to add value to the relationships around you. Because when you're happy, you radiate happiness. And I want to be like that light in my family where people will say, you know what, she's good vibes, she's good people. So I want the people around me to be comfortable as well. In that element of comfort, there is financial stability.
Of course.
And I always say to people, aim to be financially stable and not rich. Financially stable means you can meet all your goals. You've got, you're meeting all your bills, your requirements, you're helping your family, and you've got a little bit of a savings. You're comfortable. You're not there. Like, you're not going to buy a yacht for $12 million.
I mean, you could.
You could. You could. But the main idea is for you to be financially stable so that if there's an emergency, you're not, shocked and trying to think to yourself, okay, where do I go? What am I going to do here? So my ultimate goal in life is to be comfortable. I really just want to be comfortable and at peace and content so that I can be a light to everybody around me.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm sure you're already that to many people around you.
I would hope so.
And in terms of, and even professionally, like what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, I know that you have probably inspired a lot of people with just this conversation and making it seem, no, as in, I really mean it, like, investing is within reach. You don't have to be on a certain level to be able to invest. But what impact do you want to leave within your professional field? Like, what do you want to be remembered for? Like, Grace did this. I don't know. No pressure. If you've thought about it, you might not have thought about it.
So I did think about it, and I think one of the major things I want to be remembered for is that I made finance relatable. I think a lot of it is very high level. It's very complicated. It's technical. It sounds like you need an MBA just to understand what people are saying. And if I can be the person that people say, you know what, when she talks, it actually makes sense. It made sense. I will be happy because I would like to give people hope that, look, you can do it too. You may not have $1 million kwacha to invest today, but start with your 1,000 and let's see where it goes, So if I can be that voice that kind of, clears through all the muddled information and just says, listen, this is what a share is. This is how you start. Then that's my legacy. I just want to be remembered as somebody who, made finance relatable. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Grace. Any last words for the girlies who are watching, who want to be in your position one day, who want to make things relatable, finance markets, capital markets relatable? Do you have anything you would like to share with them? To boost confidence, to just go for it.
Look, I think for me, I always say there's nothing that you cannot achieve as long as you set your mind to it. And I think my parents instilled this into me because they literally said, everywhere that you go, leave a mark. People should remember that Grace was here, and not for bad things, but for good things. And you need to be intentional because success doesn't happen by accident. You need to be intentional about it. When you set a goal for yourself, remember, if you don't set a timeline and you don't actually make a plan, it's just a wish list that you're making. But if you actually say to yourself that, look, I want to be here by this age, you need to be intentional about it. Get yourself in the right rooms. Read. I'm literally one of those people who read anything and everything in the financial markets so that I am clued up, right? So make that effort to get to know the information. We live in an information age.
We do.
Everything
but information that's like so fast also.
It is.
So that attention span also needs to be there.
And I mean, this is why you must always, go for things that you're passionate about as well.
Absolutely. Because you will make time for them.
You will make time for it and you actually understand and you actually be like, you know what, I want to know why this is like this. So always be intentional about everything that you're doing, even in terms of how you carry yourself as a person. You always need to think to yourself that, okay, I know who I am, but how is who I am being projected onto other people? When they look at me, what do they think? It's not so much of don't be scared. Like, don't be scared to do things because you're worried about, what will they say? But you also need to be self-aware. And you need to ask yourself to say, what impact am I leaving? Are my words true? Are my words helpful? Are they hurtful? And that comes from a very deep sense of self-awareness.
Absolutely.
So know what your strengths are as well. That's a very important one. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. I do not like anything to do with complicated numbers, which is weird because that's my field.
Says the finance lady.
It's my field, but I do not like anything to do with numbers. What I like is dealing with people face to face. I want to be a problem solver, right? And I know that's my strength, that's my weakness. I know which room to put myself in. I know which room not to put myself in. I know where my intelligence stops and I know where it can overreach because I know what I'm able to do. So self-awareness is very important.
Wow, amazing. Grace, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You've really broken it down. Because we really do shy away from being part of the growth of capital markets.
Yeah.
So thank you for breaking it down for us. We're going to put your details, if you don't mind,
No
so
worries.
that people can contact you.
Yeah.
Serious people, please. Serious people who want to invest. Grace will be ready to sort you out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling us about your journey as well, your obstacles, how you overcame them, what keeps you grounded. Because here at Unshaken Feathers, it's about what anchors you,
Yeah.
drives you. So
Yeah.
thank you for putting that into perspective for us. And you're our third guest now, and I keep telling everyone, please come back. So I think we're going to have like a reunion where we'll have like all the
please
guests
do.
that have come.
Yeah, that would be
I hope
great.
you would be happy to join us again.
Yeah.
And thank you for being an inspiration, not just to girls and women, but to everyone, and making things accessible, seeing the human side of capital markets. I think that is so important. So we are rooting for you, and we can't wait to see what you're gonna do next.
Oh, wow. I can't wait either.
We'll find out together.
We will.
Thank you so much. Guys, you heard it from Grace Soko, who is a very experienced business development manager at LuSE. Please get in touch with her. You heard that the 3 things are to do your research, find a goal, and surround yourself with the people that are gonna push you towards what you want to achieve. Thank you for being with us today. Please join us again with our next guest. And until then, take care. This was Unshaken Feathers, and I'm your host, Mundia.